Hi viewers, welcome to day 3 of our online intensive pattern drafting class. So we're going to be drafting the full scale basic bodice. The last time we drafted the half scale bodice. So the only difference between the half scale bodice and the full scale bodice is the hip line. So the full scale bodice will include hip line. So additional measurement that we'll be needing will be from our neck to our hip line, neck to hem line. That will be the full length of the gown. Also, what we'll be drafting will be what we will use for the shift dress that we want to sew. So at the end of the day, we are going to keep our patterns and use it to cut our shift dress. So stay tuned and make sure you watch this video till the end. Thank you. Let's get started. So I'll start with my borderline. I'll start by drawing my borderline. Remember what I said about using this to get our straight line. Just following through this straight line here, this perpendicular line here, placing it at the smooth side of our paper, our pattern paper, and then draw our line. So remember that I said we always go deep into the line to ensure we have a straight line. And then when you're drafting, you might need to stand up and draft. When you sit while drafting, all this is just to avoid error due to parallax. So I draw my straight line, So that's the start line. So what we're going to be doing will be similar to what we did while we were drafting the half scale bodice. So I'm going to place my tape rule this way from the start line. This is my start line. I'll place my tape rule and then I'll mark 11.5 as my armhole, 12 as my bust point, 15 my under bust, 17 my back length, and then so from 17 we're going to do something that we didn't do while we were drafting the half scale. I'll come down and I'll measure 6 inches. After 6 inches I'll take 8. So this 6 inches is going to serve as my my upper hip, while the 8 inches will be my lower hip. Upper hip, lower hip. The 6 inches from 17, which is my back length, I have my upper hip and my lower hip. And then I go ahead and I measure another 20. And so this 20 will serve as my nail point. Are you following? This 20 will serve as my nail point. And then to get my full length, the full length of the dress, I'll come and I'll measure from the start line. And then I can decide that, okay, let me make my full length. Either I leave it at 40, 41, or 42. I'll leave it as 41. That's almost the end of my paper. Let's see what I'm doing. So I'm leaving it at 41 as my full length from the start line. Now I'm going to rule the lines. I'm going to rule all the lines. I'll rule all the lines. Starts with the armhole line. Place my pattern master. Like that. You can see what I'm doing. So I'm rolling the first line, which is my armhole, and then I roll the second line, which is my bust. There's the bust. The second point is the bust measurements. So I'm rolling as well. Straight line. need to ensure. Okay, so I've drawn my lines. I have the start line. Let me show you. I have the armhole line, the bust line, the under bust line, the waist, that's the back length. And then I said from this point to this point, I went in by 6 inches, and this will serve as my upper hip. And then 2 inches down will serve as my lower hip. And this is my nail. This is my nail. I have to add to the paper, so I started to increase my length, and this is my M. This is the M of the dress. Can you see this is the M? This is the hem. I tried to add more paper. So that's one beauty about pattern drafting. You can always, add paper when you run out of paper, and add to the length. So my nail, the lower hip, the upper hip, and here is my waist, which is my back length. Here is my under bust. Here is my bust, and here is my armhole measurement, and I have the start line. Here is the start line. So always label so you don't get confused along the line. Always label. So I have drawn my lines, and then the next thing I'll be doing, I'll fold my paper into 2, like we did while we're drafting the half-scale bodice. Then I fold my paper into 2. Fold my paper into 2. And then I will make sure the front lines tallies with the back lines. Can you see? I want to make sure this tallies with the back lines. So I do this, and then I flatten it out. I flatten out my pattern and make sure it tallies. And then I flatten out the pattern. Can you see? I flatten it out so that it can lay well. So I flatten it out like this. Can you see? You can see what I'm doing. So here is our, so I have to make sure it tallies. To be sure it tallies. The front and the back. Front and the back. Need to be sure. So that's it. So here is my fold points, because somebody was asking question. Here is the fold point of the paper, but here is the start line, and I'm coming this way. So I'm drafting from my right to left. So this is the front, I'm drafting from right to left, and this is the back. I'll use here for the back. I'll also draft from right to left. So here is going to be my zipper, and then I'll draft. I hope you understand. Here's the back. I'll draft from right to left. Here's the front part. I'm also drafting from right to left. So always remember that you're drafting from right to left. Good. So let's start. So the other thing we're going to do right now is to put or insert our bust span measurement. The bust span measurement is just the difference between the 2 nipples. As in the distance, not difference. The distance between the 2 nipples is your bust span. So I'll be using 8. 8 divided by 2, 4. So I'm going to use 4 straight away. I'm not going to add ½ inches. I'm going to use 4 straight away. So I'll place my tape and measure 4. Can you see? So this is 4, and then I'll draw a line. So I have my line there. So from this point to this point, from this point to this point, I have 4 inches, which is my bust span. So the next thing I'm going to do, here is my waist. Thank God it's well labeled, so I won't mix it up. Here's my waist. So on my waist, I'm going to take half inch to the left, half inch to the right. Can you see? Half inch to the left, half inch to the right. Then I would join my line. I'm going to join this point to this point, like this. I place my ruler and I join from this point to this point. Can you see? I will also place my ruler and join from this point to this point. Just watch, you get it. So I'm going to extend this line. I will extend this to the start line. This is the first point that is nearer to my, the fold point. This is going to be our fold point for the front pattern. It's going to be our fold point. So I will extend this line to the start line. I will extend it with my ruler. I will extend it. So I'll also come and, also connect this line to my upper hip. I'll connect this point to my upper hip. So I'm trying to draw out this point to my upper hip. So that's it. So you can see we have our waist dart constructed already or drafted already, and I told us that I used 6 inches from my waist down, 6 inches, and then I came down by 2 inches, and this becomes my lower hip. This is where I'm going to put my measurements. My hip measurement will be on my lower hip, and then from my lower hip I came down by 20 inches, and this will serve as my nail, and then I have my M. I hope you're following. I hope you're following. So these 6 that I used here, and 8 and 20, they are standard. You can check you can refer to our size charts. The standard. There are instances where you can use 5. Like I said, I use 6, 8, and 20. There are instances you could use 5, 7, 19, maybe for a short person. Other instances you could use maybe 7, 9, 21 for someone that is tall, So these are standard. You can refer to the size chart. There's a video already on that can guide us into understanding the right body measurement that we should use when we are drafting our patterns. Yeah, so we have just drafted the waist dart. Now we're going to move to the shoulder dart. We're going to be drafting the shoulder dart. So from the shoulder, this point, we extended this dart leg to the. Oh, I'm so sorry. There's a mistake. We're not the dart leg is to our bust point, not the armhole. It's to the bust point. Pardon me, please. To the bust point. To the bust point. To the bust point. To the bust point, please pardon me. That was serious oversight. To the bust point, not the armhole. We only place our bust measurements on the armhole. We only place our bust measurements on the armhole. But when we are drafting our waist, that leg should be on the bust point, not on the armhole. Not on the armhole point. Are we following? Please pardon me for that mistake. Are we following? So here's the bust point. So this is where our, that leg will come all the way from the waist to the bust, and then we extend to the start line. Now from the start line, we're going to measure. I told us while we're drafting the half scale bodies that we could go between 3 to 5. So also I can go in by, let me go in by 4.5. max is 5 that you can go in, and then also depending on how much you want your bust accentuated, you know. So I'll go in by 4.5, and then I'm going to join this point. I'll join it to the bust point. Are you following? So I'll draw my dart leg. So I'm drawing another dart leg. Can you see? So after doing this, I'm going to fold this part, because I'm going to fold this part. I'm going to fold this part because I want to link it with this line, this dart leg. I want to link this line to form my shoulder dart. So just fold and come this way. And the help of my masking tape, my paper tape, I would hold it down. Okay, so I've held it down with my paper tape, and then let's see what we have. Imagine my bust area is already accentuated. So this is another beauty of the pattern making method. It allows you to see the result even while you are still drafting. It allows you to see the results of your work while you're still drafting. So that's the shoulder dart. Now, all said and done, we're going to come this way. I'll come this way, and I'll extend this dart, this line, because now we have two lines. We have this line coming this way, and then we also have this one. So we're going to extend this one. Watch what I'm doing. I'm going to extend this line. I'm going to extend it. So we're no longer using this line. We're no longer using this. Now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to place the standard 3/8. I already explained this to us. Standard 3/8. And then at point 8, we come down by 1.5. Come down by 1.5 inch, and then I'll join this point. I'll join this point and this point. It's my ruler. So this is my new shoulder line. So we're no longer using this. So we had this at first, we didn't use it again. The second one, we're not using it, and so this is the real shoulder line now. So that done, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to input our measurements. We're going to input our measurements. So for bust, I'll be using 44. I'll be using waist. I'll be using 38. Hips, I'll be using 48. So we're going to measure. Just watch the way I'll go about it. Just watch. So I want to input our measurements, but before I do that, let's calculate what we're going to be using for the bust, the waist, and the hip. And so for the bust, I have 44, and then 44 divided by 4, I have 11, then plus 1 inch sewing allowance, that is 12. So I'll put 12 here. That's on the armhole. That's where we'll be taking the measurement. For the waist, I have 38. I have 38 inches as the waist. 38 divided by 4, 9.5. So 9.5 plus 2 inches, 1 inch for sewing allowance, and the other 1 inch as the dart allowance. So I have, at the end of the day, I have 2 inches to that. I have 11.5 on the waist. 11.5 on the waist. And then on the hip line, I have 48 as my hip. 48 divided by 4, 12. 12 plus 1, 13. The one will serve as the sewing allowance. So I have 13 inches here. Right? So let's take our measurements. We're going to start Yeah, something like this. So I'll measure this way. I'm going to take my bust measurements from the armhole. I'm not going to insert my measurement on the bust line. I will insert it on the armhole line. So I'm going to go this way, and then I have 12. So I'll mark 12. I'll mark 12. That's 12. On the waist, I'll mark 11 and a half. I'll mark 11 and a half on the waist. 11 and a half on the waist. Like that. 11 and a half. On the hip, I'm marking 13. I'm marking 13 on the hip. Marking 13. And there is 13 on the hip. Good. So I'm going to draw my shape using the pattern master. So look at what I'm doing. I've turned it upside down, and I'm going to use this to place it to join my points. Can you see what I'm doing to join my points? So I'll join my points like so, and then I'll flip it over this way, and I come this way, and I also join my points. Can you see? I join my points like so. Can you see? Now for the nail, because we are drafting a shift dress, we want to use this pattern to to cut our shift dress and also sew it. And the shift dress usually gives these loose fits, and so because of that, we are going to still use our 13 on the nail. Ordinarily, if you wanted a fitted dress, would have still taken some, maybe 1 inch, 1.5 and all of that. But since we're using this pattern for shift dress, we're going to still use our 13 on the nail. So we go this way and still measure 13. I still come here and measure my 13. And I also come to the M and measure my 13. Are you following? Hope you understand. So I still go 13, 13, 13 because it's a free dress. We're using our pattern for a free dress. So I'll join the points. So I'll join the points. So that's it. That's it. So we're almost done with the front pattern. We're almost done. So the next thing we're going to do is our neckline measurement. So we're going to use, I'll use 4 as my width. 4. Remember, I told us that when we are using drafting, the max that we can use is 7, and then the average is 6.5. That's from this point, from this fold point to the shoulder line. Everything that we're going to use should not exceed 6.5 as average, and 7 should be, people that really have broad shoulders. Maybe shoulder 18 plus and all of that can use 7, but shoulder 15, 16 we stick with 6.5, and then the 14, 13, 6. So now, since I've placed 4 here already, I have 3, I have the 4, so I've measured 4. So that means it's remaining 2.5. So I mark my 2.5 points. So that means from this point after my neckline, which is 4 inches, I mark 2.5 points, and this is the point. So I'm going to join it. I'll connect this point to this point. That's this armhole point, like this. Just watch. Just go this way. Go this way. And connect, and that's it. Hope you saw what I did, and that's it. So that's our front pattern. And for the sake of the shift dress, we're going to be using the side darts. We're going to be using the side darts. So we're going to transfer our shoulder darts to the side darts. We're going to transfer the shoulder darts to the side darts. So before I do that, I'll just cut out my pattern. Just cut it out. Just cut out my pattern. I need to draw out my neckline. So I might decide, you can for the neck design, you can do round, you can do V-neck. It depends on whatever it's fine with you. So I'll just do V-neck, and I'll use 7.5. I'll use V-neck. And so remember, this is my the 4 inches that I use as my neck width. So I'm going to connect this to this. I'll just use just do this way, just connect. So you can do you can use round, you can do V, you can do square, depending on your preference. And also remember that since we have used 4 inches as our width for the front, the back we're going to be using 4.5. So that's just the standard. That's the standard. If we use 3, for instance, for the front width, we use 3.5 for the back width. Also, if we use 5 for the front width, we use 5.5 as the back width. We should always add ½ inch to whatever measurement that's for the width of our neck. Whatever width we decide to use for the front, we are to add ½ inch at the back. But the shoulder line remains the same. The shoulder line of the front and the back. So I use 2.5 here. I will also use 2.5 as my shoulder joining at the back. So this is constant, but for the width, the neck width, no, you have to add an additional ½ inch to the back width. So I hope we understand, and I hope we're following. If there's any confusion, please drop your comments at the comment section. You could also contact us on our IG page at SCALE Clothing. So this is the underbust. It's labeled already. So we just want to transfer the shoulder darts to the underbust to get our side darts. We want to transfer this. So once I slash it open now, my dart will move to the side. It will no longer be at the shoulder. The dart will be at the side. So I'm going to draw the line. I'll join the points from the bust point to the underbust. So I will just slash it open because I want my pattern to lay flat. I'll just slash it open. So in our next video, we're going to learn how to add allowance to our pattern, and how we can how to place it on our fabric and add allowance, and then how to sew it. So this is the front pattern. The front pattern is ready for now because we're still going to do our what we call the shoulder transfer. That's the shoulder joining. We're still going to do some transfer, but let's draft the back. So this is our front completed. So I'll just put it aside while we draft the back. So I'm going to flip this way. Can you see? We're done with the front. I'll flip it this way to the back. And so this edge will be my zip allowance, which will be the first thing I'll be drafting. So for my zip, I'll use 1 inch. I'll use 1 inch as my zip. So this is 1 inch. you can see what I'm doing. So I come this way to draw a straight line. Come this way to draw a straight line. So make sure my line is straight. Come this way and draw a straight line. And draw it to the down. Completed the zipper allowance. That's for the zipper allowance. And so the next thing we're going to be doing, we're going to be inputting our measurement. So on the for our bust, we used 12. So we're going to take it from the armhole measurement, and that's the point 12. That's my point 12. And then on the waist, let's just label. This is armhole, and then we have bust. And remember, this is our under bust, and here is our waist. So we have the upper hip, and then we have the lower hip. Here we have our knee, and then here is our M. That's the length of our dress. So the armhole, I'm going to measure 12. I've measured 12. On the waist, 11.5. And here is 11.5. On the hip line, I have 13. I have 13. And then on the knee, so we're still going to use the same measurements because it's a free dress. And the M as well, I'm going to put 13 because it's a free dress, so we're using the same measurement all the way down. The same measurement all the way down from the lower hip all the way down. So we're going to join the points. This is the pattern master. We'll turn it this way, upside down, and then we join the first point this way, and then we turn it this way again, and then we come this way, and that's the hip, and then join the lines, connect them to the M, connect it to the M. So we're almost done with our drafting. So I hope we understand this. And the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take our shoulder measurement. So good 3/8. At point 8 we come down by 1.5, and then we join the line. So the next thing we're going to do, in the front we used 4 inches, so here we're going to be using 4.5. We're going to be using 4.5. So here is 0.4.5, and then we still maintain the 2.5 that we used in the front. So I'm going to connect this line, this point, and this. So I'll be connecting this point to the armhole. So our neckline can choose to do whatever we like. Like I explained, it is only the width that would, in front we used 4 inches for our width, and then at the back we used 4.5. So that's the only place that will be doing something different. But for the depth, you can do V-neck, you can do round, you can do whatever kind of neckline you like, you can do for the back. And then it's only the width that will be different, the width by ½ inch, only the width, the wideness of the neck. So if we use 3, for instance, for the front, then for the back we'll use 3.5 for the wideness. All right. So, but for the shoulder joining, we need to use the same thing. We use 2.5 in front. We are also using 2.5 for the back. And so there's no point for me drafting the dart since I'm not it's not going to be needed because it's a free dress. So I'm not going to draft that. But I'm going to shape the back. From the waist, this is our waist. You can see it's labeled. our waist, we'll come down by 1 inch, and then on that 1 inch we're going to measure 3/4. Going to measure 3/4 on the 1 inch line. There's the 1 inch line. We'll measure 3/4. You can see what I'm doing, and then join the lines. I'm going to join this 3/4 point to the armhole. That to serve as my back shape, that's shaping the back to avoid puff at the back. And then I'm going to join this to the upper hip. I'm going to join this to the upper hip. So we also did this while we're drafting the half scale bodice. We also did this while we're drafting the half scale bodice. All this is just to prevent the puff at the back. And then by the time we're sewing, we're still going to come this way, and then like that, still take our 1 inch like that, and then we sew. I hope we understand. So we're going to cut now. Next thing we're going to do now is to cut our pattern and then do the shoulder transfer. After the shoulder transfer, then we're done. So we're going to cut. You know, my paper is really wide. The wideness of my paper is about 32 inches and the length is 100 inches. You can imagine a whole 100 inches for the length, and the wideness is 32. So it's really wide. That's why I can draft both the front and the back, you know, at the same time without having to join extra paper too. But if you're using the brown paper, not to worry, you can always join it. You can, you know, you can put them beside each other and hold it with your paper tape. So that should not hinder you from drafting your own. And I also said, if you don't have the pattern master, you can use your French curve. You can use your French curve if you don't have the pattern master. There should be no excuse for you not to do your own and submit. You can use the French curve and ruler. So next video we're going to be transferring our pattern to fabric and we'll be sewing. That's going to be our next class. That will be the next class. So that's our back pattern. Our back pattern. So you can see our back is shaped, and that's it. So we have our front. This is our front. This is our front. So we're going to do something like this. So like I said, you can turn it whichever way you like. There's no rule to that. The important thing is that you should ensure that the armhole faces each other. The most important thing is the armhole. Yes, you have the armhole together, so you can face it whichever way. The important thing is that the armhole, let's be together. So I'm going to hold it with my paper tape. I'm going to hold it down with my paper tape. So just like we did while we're drafting the half scale, we're going to find the midpoint, and then we will draw our shoulder joining. We're going to find the midpoint. So we want to transfer part of the shoulder, the part of this shoulder height. We want to transfer it to the front. So, but we need to get the midpoint. So we can only get that by as in placing our tape around the armhole like this. Just do it this way. Place it round. Make sure the tape rule is flat while you're measuring it. Make sure it's flat. I have 24. So that means if I divide my 24 into 2, that's 12. So I'm going to find, okay, let me check. We have 12, so here is 12. I have my 12 here. I can check again. Sometimes you need to cross check to be sure you're on the right path. You can check again. So that's my 12. So I'm going to check what I have here. So I have like 3/4. I'm going to transfer my 3/4 here just to have a straight line, and then I'll connect it to my ruler. I'll connect it with my ruler. Just watch what I'm doing. Just connect it, and that's it. I've connected it. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to through, because if I cut it this way, it's looking funny. Can you see? It's kind of looking funny at this edge and this. So I'm going to through it. I'll just do something like this. And then at this side too, I'll do the same thing. I'll just through it. I'll just through it. I'll just through it. Can you see? So I just want to ensure that my front shape is not looking funny, you know. So then I'll trim it off. Trim it off before I then slash it open. I'll trim it off. So please, if there's still any clarification, kindly comment at the comment section. I'll be glad to hear from you. I'd like you to also try it. So now that I've through it, I'll just slash it. I'm cutting on this line, the new line that I just drew. I'll just cut on that line, and that's it. So here's my new. So you can see that the front I've added some few inches, you know, to the length, and the back has become shorter, kind of. So if this tutorial has been helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Kindly subscribe if you've not done that, and please like, share, and I'll see you in our next video. Thanks for watching.